Just so you could see the time, it is 9:32 in the morning. And this is relevant because we've already established that the entity is a group stalker and that the entity is demon possessed while it is group stalking, which is based on the government's criminal conduct and the population's criminal activity in the shoes of the government. It is here, therefore, legally relevant, the ways in which the government is terrorizing an American citizen. And it is also seen through the unnatural environment that is maintained deliberately for purposes of keeping you under surveillance, that is group stalking you. And that's shown through the engineered environment. This is engineered light. Again, it started this morning during the 6 o'clock hour, and this is supposed to be the sunlight. Let's point out this absurd stalking with light activity. The sun is in a position while it's outside of my leasing window, while it's over my head, while I'm in front of building 1808, while it's over in alignment with me, while I'm at the entrance area and engineered lights across the asphalt, and you're looking at a demon crossing path, and you can see the light source through the driver window, and I zoomed in on it so you could see the stalking by a demon who's group stalking. You can see the environment that's over me while they're crossing path. This is the maintenance of engineered light. This is called stalking with light, and it has nothing to do with the light source. This is how you have engineered light in the apartment, even though I'm at the California DMV on June 5th, 2024, and I'm nowhere near the property. But the light source is where I'm at, which is not outside of my living room window, which is the illusion. This is the demonic illusion presented, but it's outside of the natural environment. And it's impossible that sunlight, which is supposed to be the product of the sun, that's necessarily in a position to create what is engineered light through closed blinds appearing at a downward trajectory, when it also does things such as appear on my kitchen wall in the middle of the afternoon, while that which is supposedly the sun is still over my apartment building at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll digress from that, but let's just dissect it piece by piece. I'm showing you what the entity is doing on June 5th, 2024 when I went to the DMV this morning. And right now the light source is outside of my living room window. Which is what you see here. This is the explanation where the unintelligent and demon-possessed and corrupt government, like I said, just because you are in a position of leadership, just because you serve Satan, it does not give you what is superiority. It certainly does not give you superior mental capacity or intelligence. There is nothing intelligent or elite about federal group stalking and monitoring. It is literally nothing other than a bullying system. So you're talking about a government that just engages in what is abuse, the people of the state that engage in abuse, because it's not complicated, it's not smart, it's not intelligent, it's not logical, it's not scientific, which is speaking to actually a very thin veil of persuasiveness. It's not even persuasive when you are looking at bare-faced demonic conduct. Straight out of hell, okay? This is impossible to be the sun, first of all, because it's still here after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Second of all, because there's a documented presence of the so-called sun in an entirely different region for the duration of the day. Third of all, because I am even in Los Angeles, when I went to the California DMV, which is what was documented here at the top on June 5th, 2024. But yet while I'm inside of my apartment, which is facing an entirely different direction than what you see at the top, the entrance, Clifford Street, is on the opposite side. So let me even show you that. We can go that far. And I've already made this point, but I did it inside of apartment number 1812. Also speaking to what's impossible, while I'm inside of building 1806, that's not in alignment with what you would see outside of the living room window at apartment 1806, which is my location. The entity is maintaining the light source. Hold on, let me see if I can zoom in so we can see here we go, Clifford Street. This is Alvarado Gardens right here. My apartment is building 1806. This is the direction I am facing. This is the entrance, which is not even in the same direction. This is where I'm at on Clifford Street at 936. Uber, a third-party group stalker, is turning off of Glendale Boulevard, turning up onto Clifford, and then driving down Alvarado Street to enter and stop at what is the entrance, which is where I've arrived, which is not shared with anything that I could see outside of my living room window, which is where I'm standing right now inside of building 1806. So just to break that down for you, macro level, let's just zoom out. Where I am facing right now on camera, I cannot see over what's happening at Clifford Street, meaning the sun is not capable of being seen over my head in the manner that it is right now, while I am facing an entirely distinct location. And it is currently 9:37 in the morning. So this is what's happening at the same time on June 5th, which is impossible to be. This is the absence of the sun over Alvarado Gardens, which you've seen. I was on the freeway. I was at the DMV. It moves as I'm And this is Clifford Street in Alvarado, and this is at 9:36 in the morning. And as I started this video and as I remain here, and as you're looking at the so-called position of the sun and so-called what follows, sunlight, breaking this whole demonic environment down, the demonic engagement of the elements of monitoring, which is what you see Universal Waste engaging in, which is telling on the demons that are the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, who were under the same light source, which is nowhere near the Pomona Transit Center, speaking to the same pattern as I'm giving you this juxtaposition of crime scenes. The California DMV third-party group stalker Uber, where I'm in an entirely distinct location, this is distinct. Facing this direction and being on Clifford Street over the vehicle while I'm driving in the direction toward this location, being at the front, the entrance, the opposite direction is the entrance of Alvarado Gardens. If the sun is over there, it's not outside of my window right here, okay? The entity that is maintaining a light source is stalking in the path, that is group stalking, and that's what you see the LAPD doing, and while they do that, they are telling on all of the people of the state. But let me be clear, engaging in amplified audible activity, stalking in the path with engineered light, the people of the state, the demons that are the people of the state are telling on themselves, okay? So this is exposing that system, and it is terrorism that I'm subject to in the workplace, and this is the intersection right here at the top of what is Clifford. This is indeed Silverview Townhomes, the adjacent property where the fake sun remains over me after 5, 6, 7 p.m. And those demons are pacing in and out of that gate, group stalking me, engaging in a sex offense on video with impunity on an ongoing basis, both group stalking and federal stalking, and that whole property is going to be prosecuted accordingly, pursuant to what the whole population is doing on an ongoing basis, which the P.O.C. has documented for a term of years, a percentage of the population in California who will be exposed and prosecuted for terrorism with the state of California. This is the scientific impossibility that I'm capturing again for the world to witness, and it's revealing demon possession. It's revealing public corruption.
The sun does not maintain an ubiquitous presence at the same place everywhere that you're going, regardless of whether that is stationary all day long. 9 HUE 802 is crossing path. While that engineer...
And that's what I'm capturing, regardless of whether it's stationary. So I'm stationary at one location, and on another day when I am en route to this location, I am en route to be in a position where I could see outside of the sea facing the hillside, which the sun is not in that position while I am coming from DMV en route to this location. The two are not happening at the same time. That's capturing the impossible. That's what I'm speaking about in this video.
The environment follows. It's now over Silverview Townhomes, and now it's going to be over Alvarado Gardens, and all of the people of the state with a straight face are group stalking. This is what I mean. It's not even intelligent. It's just 100% demonic.
This location of the light source at 9:36 in the morning is not over the back portion of the apartment complex, meaning it's in a position to be seen outside of my bedroom window, which is back there. And I'm looking at it right now, remaining at a stationary location at the same property at the same time, and it's in a position in alignment to me, in the presence of what is engineered light that is not sunlight, and this is speaking to what the population is doing. They are group stalking you, and they're demons that are group stalking you, as their behavior is pursuant to the systematic engagement in the elements of monitoring. Maintaining presence around me with audible, visual, and relevant positioning. While they're in the path, they're maintaining light activity and audible activity. Even if it's my voice, the elements are satisfied. The entity that's group stalking in a distance, flying in helicopter while I'm narrating their criminal conduct, the elements are satisfied. While the entity's amplifying helicopter activity, flying at a distance, they're demonstrating their demon possession both by crossing path in the specific environment and by your ability to see amplification. By that, what do I mean? You can see the distance that they're at, and you can also perceive and recognize the impossibility that I could hear that helicopter at that great distance. You are also seeing their demon possession when they engage in flying in circles for 47 minutes like they did in April of 2024. Okay, this is the specific environment, and the light source is seen outside of my bedroom window from this location, not the living room window like it is today at the same address. And this was literally less than 2 weeks ago, speaking to what is the direct engagement in a state system in conformity to a long documented pattern of conduct. And this is criminal conduct that the rest of the population are going to be accountable for. I've documented, I want to say, if not hundreds, thousands of people, and I documented them by video, by podcast, and images, and I'm going to prosecute all of them because this is terrorism that's happening in the state of California. And this evidence is showing beyond a reasonable doubt what the population is engaging in with the state, with the government. And the evidence of what is the condition of this population, the reason for this public corruption. And it is because they are demon possessed. And this is a demonic environment that surrounds me while a population is stalking obsessively. UPS is crossing path. And you already know that. The light source remains over me at after 1 o'clock in the afternoon while they're acting with the LAPD. And that's already on the record as well. That's documented impunity. While the light source is remaining over me at the entrance of the apartment complex, and I cannot see the entrance of the apartment complex from this location. The sun is not both at this position, at both sides, seeing campaign over everyone everywhere while it's remaining at the entrance of Alvarado Gardens, it is not at the same time remaining over the Upland Public Library seen through the roof. This is what the entity suggests. This is the position that you are forced into trying to argue in federal court when you are going to be prosecuted for state surveillance of a demonic nature. Exposing what is public corruption in the state and exposing what government officials such as Dominic Choi, Karen Bass, and Robert Luna know exactly what is going on while their departments and while the population in Los Angeles are engaging in the pattern of conduct in conformity to a long pattern. That is, this pattern existed before I relocated and focused my documentation in LA because this is where I live. They are acting in conformity to that which they are fully apprised of. And these government officials are fully aware of it as well. The ability to maintain a position in government while this system is underway is your engagement in federal group stalking and monitoring. And any government actor is grounds of permanent removal. And while you engage in that pattern of conduct, you go to federal prison. Okay, so Karen Bass has yet to be in relevant position to me, but if I will, let me be clear, the federal government is not going to treat her any different than any other demon-possessed group stalker. She is unfit, however, and disqualified from her position as mayor based on the documentation of the state of California engaging in the pattern of conduct, including in the city of Los Angeles, where this rampant public corruption is underway on her watch. Okay, it is currently 9:43 a.m. This is P.O.C.